Imagine you're sleeping peacefully at night, and suddenly, a wall of water taller than buildings is coming straight toward your home. No warning, no escape, just destruction. This isn't a movie scene. This actually happened in 1975 inches China. And what happened next became the deadliest dam disaster in human history. This is the story of the Banqiao Dam collapse, an engineering tragedy that most people still don't know about. The Banqiao Dam was built in the 1950s in Henan province, China. Its purpose was simple: to control floods, store water, and provide irrigation for farming. At the time, it was seen as a symbol of progress, a giant engineering achievement. But, like many large projects, the real danger wasn't visible on the surface. Because when you build a dam, you're not just building concrete, you're holding back an entire river and trusting that structure with millions of lives. The storm that changed everything. In August 1975, something terrifying happened. A massive typhoon, Typhoon Nina, hit central China. Now, here's the shocking part: typhoons usually lose power after moving inland, but this one didn't. It became trapped in the region and it poured rain non-stop. Some areas received over 1 meter of rainfall in just a few days. That is not normal rain. That is nature dumping an ocean from the sky. The rivers rose fast. Reservoir levels climbed higher and higher. And the Bangchao Dam was now under pressure, like a balloon being filled until it bursts. The dam couldn't handle it. Dams are designed with spillways, paths where excess water can safely escape. But during this storm, the inflow was too extreme. The spillways couldn't release enough water. And another major problem made everything worse. Communication systems were failing, power lines were down, roads were flooded, warnings couldn't travel. Engineers at the dam tried everything, but the water kept rising and rising until finally the Bangshao Dam reached a point where it was no longer a dam. It became a ticking time bomb. The collapse. On the night of the 8th of August, 1975, Bangqiao Dam failed. The concrete structure broke and the reservoir exploded out. Imagine billions of tons of water being released instantly. A massive flood wave rushed forward. Not like a normal flood, but like a tsunami. It smashed into villages at terrifying speed. Homes were ripped apart like paper. Trees were uprooted. Roads disappeared. Entire towns were erased. People didn't even get time to run. Many were sleeping, and within seconds, everything was gone. The domino effect. But here's what makes this disaster even more horrifying. It wasn't just one dam. Once Banqiao collapsed, the flood pressure hit other nearby dams. And then, one by one, they failed, like dominoes. More than 60 dams collapsed across the region. The flood became unstoppable. Water levels rose so high that entire cities were cut off. No electricity, no roads, no rescue, just water, darkness, and chaos. The real death toll. Thousands died immediately from drowning. But the true tragedy didn't stop there, because after the flood came disease. Bodies in water, no clean drinking supply, no food, farms were destroyed, and millions of people were suddenly trapped without resources. Many survivors later died from hunger and illness. The final death toll is believed to be tens of thousands, and some estimates go much higher. This wasn't just a flood disaster, it was a complete collapse of infrastructure and survival. Why did this happen? So, the big question is, how can a dam fail like this? There were multiple reasons. First, the rainfall was far beyond what the dam was designed for. Second, spillway capacity was not enough for the incoming flood. Third, warning systems failed, meaning water release decisions were delayed. And finally, the domino effect. When one major dam collapses, it can overload every dam downstream. That's why dam engineering is not just about strength. It's about emergency planning, communication, and worst case design. Because nature doesn't care about your calculations. Lessons from Banqiao. Today, modern dams use advanced monitoring, sensors, satellites, emergency spillways. But the Banqiao disaster remains a reminder that one failure can destroy an entire region. And sometimes, the most dangerous disasters are the ones history tries to forget. Because this wasn't just an accident, it was an engineering nightmare that turned into a human tragedy. If you want more real engineering stories like this, follow Next Gen Engineering.